Over the years, Little Miami has been a house of horrors for the Walnut Hills Eagles, as ever since the hiring of head coach Scott Kerr, the Panthers have won 4 in a row against Walnut Hills. The Eagles tonight hope to change that as they take a trip up north tomorrow and play Little Miami in the ECC opener. Over the years, Little Miami has been a house of horrors. String on, my bad, sorry. It's Walnut Hills basketball on Graham's Sportscasting channel. Thank y'all for joining me. I'm Graham Dunwoody, taking through tonight's action. Walnut Hills' 2025-26 campaign did not get off to a hot start. They lost 36-27 against Oak Hills at home, and their offense looked extremely lethargic in that loss. Little Miami is dealing with a lot of the same problems in the early goings of their season. They were defeated by Fairfield and Springboro in their first 2 non-conference games, and they have really struggled to find any semblance of consistent offense, scoring under 35 points in both of those 2 games. Head coach Scott Kerr is one of the best in the business here in Greater Cincinnati, taking a Little Miami team not traditionally known for basketball and turning them into an ECC contender in his 2 years so far as the head coach of Little Miami. The Panthers finished in the bottom 3 in each of their first 3 years in the ECC since they joined in the 2020-2021 campaign. Scott Kerr took over, led them to 2nd and 3rd, 10-6 conference record each the last 2 years, but he has a difficult task this year. He's replacing his entire starting lineup from a year ago, including the best big man in the conference last year, Carter Sellers, who a name that would strike fear into any opponent's mind over the past 2 seasons. Little Miami not completely devoid of talent in his place. They've got last year's backup big Max Green, wearing number 14, their starting lineup now. He's got 8 points a game, and on the horizon, they have a freshman who could change a lot of perspectives. Austin Stahl, who scored 4 points a game in his first 2 varsity matchups, the tallest player on the roster, 6 feet 5 inches. Only an inch shorter than where Sellers was last year as 3 years elder. It's him and junior Carter Stewart at 6'5". Walnut has also struggled for size somewhat this year. They've got Will Rivers at 6'5", but he did not play in their season opener. And they really, really struggled to move the ball on the interior. They just could not find anything until they resorted to shooting a bunch of threes, and that did not score very many points against the Highlanders. And so the test for first-year head coach Kashmir Wright of the Eagles is going to be, where's that offense going to come from, and how are you going to find production that isn't just trying to find an open 3 look when the other team is taking it away, which you expect Scott Kerr, elite head coach, to try and do in tonight's matchup. Kashmir Wright he was hired to replace Stu Holt, who was dismissed by the Eagles after 3 straight losing seasons. First year 10-13 in 2022 when he lost all 7 of the Eagles' non-conference matchups. Then fell to a pretty dismal 6-17 last place in the conference in 2023-24. Only rebounded somewhat to 7th a year ago, 9-14, and no tournament wins during that time span after the departure of Ricardo Hill, who left for Indian Hills. So AD Shawnee Steele and the Eagles really hoping that Coach Wright can get them to where they need to be in 2025-26. But that starts with turning the offense around. You cannot have another 27-point outing and expect to win a basketball game tonight. Warm timer grinding now. We're about ready to go, as we'll see national anthem and starting lineups for the Walnut Hills Eagles. Eagles went with Jackson Kamara, Ty Austin, Jaden Seeley, Joey Pining, and Charlie Stoffridgen last time.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Little Miami High School Gymnasium, and we welcome you tonight for the matchup featuring Walnut Hills versus your Little Miami Panthers. Little Miami and Walnut Hills High Schools are members of the Ohio High School Athletic Association and abide by high standards of conduct.
Little Miami's gone with the same starting five as well. Jace Hatt, Cade Woynitz, Cameron Joseph, Max Green, Carter Stewart have been their starting five for both of their 2 games so far.
And that sport behavior is expected. Let's make this contest free by remembering to respect the game. The officials assigned to this contest have been selected according to the procedures adopted by the Ohio High School Athletic Association and the Eastern Cincinnati Conference.
One thing it'll be interesting to see, the Walnut full court press, which worked pretty well against Oak Hills, but against the teams willing to pick up the pace a little bit, that could be detrimental. Oak Hills put a lot on film of how to attack this Walnut pressure, and often just wouldn't take advantage of numbers mismatches down low, aiming to slow down the pace of the game instead. So we'll see if that continues. And with that done, we're about ready to meet our starting lineups for tonight's contest. Walnut Hills against Little Miami, both teams searching for their first win of the 2025-26 campaign. Looks like a new face in the starting lineup for Little Miami. It's Kyle Craig, wearing number 10, sitting down there on the Panther bench. Craig didn't score a point in the Panthers' first 2 lost games, but Scott Kerr will feel the need to change something up. Eagles' freshman team was blown out. JV team squeaked out a win in the 2 games preceding this one.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, for the varsity cheer squad under the coaching direction of Miss McClure, please welcome the cheer squad, beginning first with Avery Dew, Lexi Foltz, Adriana Hartman, Lydia Jones, Emily Mansell, Julianne Reynolds, Abby Tranter, and Reagan Van Bibber. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to meet the starting 5 from each team. Beginning first with the Eagles, under the coaching direction of Mrs. Cashmere Wright. Please welcome the starters, beginning first with number 1, Ty Austin. Number 2, Jaden Seeley. Number 3, Landon McDaniel. Number 11, Charlie Strasburg. And number 24, Bryce Richardson.
So starting 5 for Walnut: Austin, Seeley, McDaniel, Stoffridge, and Richardson. 2 new stars for the Oak Hills.
Under the coaching direction of Mr. Steve Clark, Mr. Brandon Stewart, and head coach Scott Murray. Please welcome the starting 5. Let me give it back to number 1, 6'4" senior, Jake Hack. Welcome number 2, 6'2" junior, Cade White. Supporting number 10, 5'10" junior, Kyle Craig. Wearing uniform 6'4" senior, Max Green. And wearing number 15, 6'4" junior, Carter Stewart.
Starting 5 Little Miami, Hatt, Voynich, Craig, Green, and Stewart. So both teams making an adjustment. Little Miami taking Cameron Joseph out of their starting lineup, replaced by Kyle Craig. And the Eagles taking 2 starters, Joey Pining and Jackson Camara will start at the bench, replaced by Richardson and McDaniel. Only one Eagle scored more than 4 points in the season opening loss to Oak Hills. That was Charlie Stoffridgen with 8. We get an immediate technical foul, and it'll be Cade Voynich taking free throws. Don't know what that was all about, but before anything happens, we'll have the Little Miami Junior taking some shots. And looks like he did not make either. So now it will be Little Miami ball immediately, thanks to the technical foul. We don't know who it was on, but Voynich went over 2 at the line. He will inbound, and we'll start the game with Jace Hatz. Taken it, guarded by Ty Austin for Little Miami. Here we go. Voynich throws it cross court and finds Craig, who feeds top of the key back to Hatt. Little Miami want to take advantage of that inside size that they have with the 2 6'5s, Max Green and Carter Stewart. Right now they're just passing it around the horn. Green motions and throws it almost away, recovered by Craig, and he gets it away. 7.5 to go, first quarter, scoreless tie. Little Miami still on their first possession. Voynich turns around Austin, kicks outside, and Hatt spins around again. Shovels it back to Voynich, who fakes a 3, drives inside, gets stripped of the basketball, but gets it back. And feeds back to Hatt. So slow pace so far as Hatt throws it up for Stewart. First time touching the ball for him. He's guarded by Stoffridgen. Feeds right side to their big guy, Max Green. Green, and he walks. Cade Voynich was trying to break inside, but he was really delayed, and Green moved his pivot foot while trying to pull back the pass intended for him. Ended up turning it over. So possession lasted 1 minute and 4 seconds to start off this ball game. Comes up empty with no shot attempt for the Panthers. 6:56 to play, first quarter, scoreless tie. Here in Morrow as Jaden Seeley has the ball for Walnut. Take it up the floor and begin the Eagles offense. Throws left side for Landon McDaniel, who drives inside, takes it to the rack, and he misses, but he is fouled. He called an offensive foul on McDaniel as he pulled over Cade Voynich. McDaniel has the game's first foul, and Voynich had good position. I don't know if it was total perfect position, but they will call it as such. First up, Little Miami, they'll check Kyle Craig out of the game as Walnut will begin their pressure on their first possession. And they'll sub in Cameron Joseph. Right side, ends up in the hands of Green, who resets, throws top of the key for Hatt. Scoreless tie, 6:22 to go, first quarter. Green to the right side, Voynich turns it up, turns back around, drives inside, running shot up and missed. Rebound, Austin, Walnut Hills. Still scoreless as Austin moves up the floor. Throws left side for Stoffridgen, trying to drive inside. Stoffridgen loses control of the basketball, and he'll go to the floor with it. Scooped up by the Panthers, and he walked on the ground. It was scooped up by Voynich, but as Austin was trying to drive the ball out of his hands, they'll say that Voynich moved both of his feet and traveled. So ball back to Walnut with 6 to go in the first quarter. Still scoreless as Jaden Steele goes around a couple of screens, moves inside, puts up a running shot, and gets fouled. Max Green commits that one. We'll see if they call floor foul. They will. And so Seeley will inbound. Still no score. Seeley inbounds. Richardson finds the lane to the basket and scores. Bryce Richardson for 2. And the first 2 of the game belong to the Eagles, who lead 2-0 with 5:47 to go first quarter. Max Green, as Pat tries to put a double team, gets taken away by Jaden Seeley. Throwing left side, McDaniel gets around Green, stops, turns it back. Richardson with the basketball, and the Eagles will reset. Right side, Austin. Already 2 turnovers for the Panthers. Austin feeds inside to Stoffridgen, who throws one up, reverse layup, no good. Green the rebound for Little Miami as that one clanged off the bottom of the rim. 2-0 Eagles, 5:14 to go first quarter. Jace Hatt moves it right, feeds inside for Stewart. Kicks out, back to Hatt, 3-ball put up and made. Jace Hatt. Panthers now lead it 3-2 off the 3-ball by Jace Hatt. Seeley around a couple of screens on the other end. Throws it outside and gives it up to Richardson, who works his way inside, throws back out, goes to the corner. McDaniel gets around his man, goes to the basket, layup good. And McDaniel for 2, but the Eagles back in front 4-3. 4:40 to play first quarter. Inbound goes to Joseph, and he will eventually work this. Still behind the time, we got to hurry up here. Jace Hatt got it off. That was close. As now Austin trying to wrestle the ball away, and he does get a held ball. He grabbed onto that ball held by Joseph and did not let it go, and he will get a turnover. Another Panthers turnover, and it's Eagles basketball leading 4-3. Jaden Seeley goes around a couple screens, throws left side. McDaniel again gets around Joseph, kicks the other way, and Hatt intercepts the pass and feeds it to Joseph for the turnover. Voynich on the other end with half of the first quarter gone. 4-3, wanted in front. Jace Hatt trying to get by Richardson, and he can't. Forced back out, good defense. And Hatt forced onto the ground paw for Little Miami. Now the same happening to Joseph as nearly taken away, but now kicked to the right side for Max Green. Throws top of the key as Voynich motors inside, turns it around, trying to find an outlet. He goes to Stewart. Stewart feeds behind his back to Voynich. And Little Miami throws back inside to Voynich. Austin blocks the shot. Picture perfect from Ty Austin, taken away by Seeley. Seeley throws to the other side. McDaniel for 3. No good and short. Rebound, Walnut stays Seeley. Feeds back out to McDaniel for a new possession for Walnut. Leading 4-3 in this first quarter. Ty Austin works it onto the paw with 3:17 to go in the first quarter. Eagles by a point. Feeds Jaden Seeley at the top of the key. Spin move, right side, feed back out, but it's intercepted by Joseph. Trying to get it to Austin in the corner, but Joseph was positioned perfectly. Joseph shovels back on the other end to Hatt. The Panthers only 3 points so far. Gives Green at the top of the key, back to Hatt. 2:53 to go. Hatt works his way inside, muscles it back out there, and Walnut's defending it well. Walnut's it back in the hands of Hatt, who feeds it right side for Stewart. 2:45 to go. Stewart turns, gives to Joseph, throws other way. Voynich for 3. In and out. Rebound, Little Miami, and even they put it back up. No foul called as Richardson blocked the shot. Richardson takes it away for Walnut, and the Panthers still with only 1 bucket on the night. 2.5 to go first quarter. Seeley with the ball. Eagles ahead 4-3. Seeley feeds it right side for Richardson, and Richardson works his way inside, pulls up, shoots a 10-footer. No good, gets it on rebound, misses. Rebound Hatt of Little Miami. Still 4-3, 2 to play in the first quarter. Cameron Joseph with the basketball against Stoffridgen, turns around, rolling right side, needs to find an outlet and does, goes to Voynich. Around the horn, finds its way back to Stewart, who throws right side for Joseph. And back around the horn, Hatt takes a deep 3, and it's an air ball out of play. Ball tipped, but saved by the Eagles. Landon McDaniel, Seeley the other way. Jaden Seeley behind the back. Austin for 3. No good, short. McDaniel jumps up for the rebound and bounces it off the foot of Voynich. It'll stay Eagles ball with 1:35 to go in quarter number 1. Couple new Eagles check in, 3 of them in fact. Miles Klump-Lawson, Joey Pining, and Damian Brock, as well as Jeremiah Plummer. Nearly full lane change. They will join McDaniel on the court. 4-3. Eagles in front, 1:35 to go. Kwaku Boafo and Kyle Craig check in for Little Miami. McDaniel gets the inbound, hands behind his back to Joey Pining. who rolls it left side. Pining stops, feeds right side, goes to the wing where McDaniel has it. Moves it back inside, but has it taken away by the Panthers, and it's Joseph taking it all the way and missing. Rebound out of play, and it will go the other way. So a frustrating miss for Little Miami there. That was Cameron Joseph or Boafo, one or the other, who had the fast break and position but could not finish. And that leaves the score at 4-3. Walnut in front. 1:11 to go for Kashmir Wright squad, looking to put some more points on the board. Joey Pining at point guard. Calls a play as Clump Lawson moves his way inside. And Kai Russell, transfer from St. Xavier, is seeing his first minutes in blue and gold. He's got the ball, feeds inside, kicks back to Pining. Pining works it across the way. Plummer gets the ball inside, puts it up and in. Jeremiah Plummer got position on Kwaku Boafo, and Jeremiah Plummer has his first 2 points of the 2025-26 campaign. The senior who broke out against Anderson last year, as on the other end, if we're going to get a 10-second violation, Little Miami didn't get it across the timeline as Kyle Craig was taking his time there. So Eagles ball ahead 6-3, 33.6 to play in quarter number 1. Pining throws it right side, gets the ball back from Brock, now throws to Kai Russell left side. Back to Pining on the paw. Pining motions a man to his right, gives it up to Brock, 20 seconds on the game clock. Kai Russell was closed out well, feeds Brock back to Pining left side against his own defense, throwing it inside for Plummer, and Plummer double teamed, puts the ball on the ground, turns it around, still with the ball, and he is called for a double dribble to turn it over. Make that a 3-second violation, I'm sorry. Plummer was gummed up in there. He had an outlet, Pining on the back end, but never found a good angle to get it to him. 6 seconds to go in the first quarter. Off the feed, it's Boafo working it inside. Throws up a shot at the free throw line, air ball. Rebound Kai Russell of Walnut. And that'll do it for quarter number 1. At the end of 1, it's Walnut Hills 6, Little Miami 3 on Graham Sportscasting Channel. We did talk at the top of the broadcast about Kai Russell, the transfer from St. X, rated as a top player in the greater Cincinnati area in the class of 2028. The only underclassman to make this year's varsity roster for Walnut. Transferred in from St. X, played in their freshman team last year. And we saw him get some minutes, and he's back out there to begin quarter number 2. As Walnut has the lead 6-3, the game started with a technical foul called against Walnut. That led to Cade Voynich taking 2 free throws. He did not make either. And eventually, the Panthers came away with an empty possession. Pat begins the second quarter with the basketball, with the Panthers trailing 6-3. Hands it behind us back for Voynich, who's boxed out by Brock. Now back to Stewart. Stewart goes behind his back to Joseph and continues the train to Hat. Hat, defended by Miles Clump Lawson, hands behind his back to Voynich. Voynich bumped off his spot, spinning, putting the ball on the ground, spins, one-handed layup, and it is good for Cade Voynich. First 2 of the game for the Panthers' leading scorer, junior Cade Voynich, and it's Eagles by a point, 6-5. Zone defense for Little Miami. Kai Russell with it on the left wing. Feeds top of the key for Joey Pining. Throwing right side, back to Pining. Looking to test the interior now, trying to find Plummer, but instead throws it cross court for Kai Russell. Pulls up for Kai Russell, no good. Rebound Jace Haddam with Miami. So Russell's first shot attempt is well off the mark. Voynich on the other end, gets by his defender, puts up a 10-footer. No good. Rebound Plummer of Walnut Hills. Feeds Brock on the fast break, gets by his man. Damian Brock charges in and gets a foul called against Little Miami, and it'll be Damian Brock to the free throw line. No, they call a late offensive board. After all of that, Brock went up to the basket and hit a Little Miami defender. After a long pause, they called an offensive foul. And now the refs are conversing. Pretty big call here. It's the second time you didn't think that the Panthers had their feet set, but got the benefit of the doubt. Scott Kerr listening into what this call is. Assume it'll be a charge on Damian Brock, which will be his first. But a lot of discussion being at the scores table, and it is an offensive foul against Damian Brock. So 2 offensive fouls in the early going for Walnut. No defensive fouls yet. They have been letting them play mostly, and there haven't been a lot of chances anyway with how slow these two teams are playing. Joseph and Hatt combine to break the press, as Hatt needs to get rid of this really fast. Tipped in the air, and it's recovered by Joseph. Lucky to not get a 10-second call there, but even luckier to not turn it over. Kai Russell nearly had a hand on that one. Inside kick out. Back to Voynich. He goes to the basket, has his shot blocked, but a foul called on Walnut. They'll call it against Jeremiah Plummer, and 2 shots coming up for Cade Voynich. So Voynich, who missed 2 free throws at the technical foul earlier, now has a chance to give Little Miami the lead, and he misses the first well off the front iron. That makes him 0 for 3 on the night. Voynich trying to avoid an 0 for 4 start and tie up this ball game, and he does. His second shot is good, giving him 3 points, and we are tied at 6 with 6:20 to go here in quarter number 2. Voynich entering today, 83.3% free throw shooter, starts the night 1 for 4. And those are some valuable points considering how slow this game is moving and how few points are being scored. You kind of expected that. Joey Pining throwing left side for Kai Russell. Interior feed. Plummer has the ball tipped and taken away. Joseph had the tip, and Hatt collected the loose change, but it's still on the way by Kai Russell of Walnut Hills. Russell takes it to the basket and lays it in for his first varsity points of his career. Kai Russell, the St. X transfer, with the steal and score. Walnut back ahead 8-6 and a timeout. On the court. Out of the timeout, it's Walnut Hills 8, Little Miami 6. Kai Russell with the steal and the score for his first varsity points. Didn't play at all against Oak Hills, the sophomore, but head coach Kashmir Wright's going to be pretty desperate after his team only scored 27 and lost to the Highlanders. And so need to make some changes, and Kai Russell might be one of those changes. Unleash him. Again, taking a while to break the press, but they do eventually get it out to Hatt. And they'll start their half-court offense. Cameron Joseph driving inside, stops, kicks back out for Max Green, who throws it left side for Cade White. Make that Gunnar Hoffman. And he feeds right side back to Joseph, who gets bowled over. No foul called. Well, Hoffman gets the ball back after getting back up. 5.5 to go, second quarter. Walnut Hills 8, Little Miami 6. As Stewart gives it right side, Gunnar Hoffman. The longtime football kicker for Little Miami, but didn't play football this year. Cade Voynich's teammate was the kicker for the Panthers. Inside move as losing the basketball out of bounds. Well, trying to put up a shot was Kyle Craig. Voynich enters, replacing the former kicker, Hoffman. Little Miami will keep basketball off the partially blocked shot of Kyle Craig. And Joseph will inbound at the baseline. He'll fire it out there to Voynich, who collects it with Pining on him. Moving it left, now moving it right, gives it up Joseph, who wanted to shoot a three, but now pulls up and dribbles it to the top of the key. Motors in right side, kicks back out. Craig for three, in and out. No good. Rebound Walnut Hills, and it's Damian Brock who feeds right side for Klump Lawson. And now goes top of the key, Joey Pining. Walnut ahead by a pair. Ty Austin now back in the game, replacing Russell. He gets ball left wing, and he gets it again against the Little Miami zone defense, who the Eagles are playing patient against. Pining goes in, pulls up a running shot. It's no good. Rebound snatched down by Stewart of Little Miami. Carter Stewart, the 6'5 junior, gets that board, and the Panthers' Kyle Craig on the other end. Craig goes behind his back, and a whistle and a foul called against Walnut. Pining gets called for that one. It's first. Eagles second of the quarter. Pat re-enters for Little Miami with 4:11 to play on the second quarter clock. Eagles ahead by a pair, 8-6. Very slow-moving game so far. Inbound to Craig. Feeding behind his back to Voynich. Voynich moves left side, gives back to Craig, and now feeds right wing to Jace Hatt. Hatt throws left side for Stewart, and across the key, but he missed everybody and turned it over. He was trying to find Kyle Craig in the right corner. He was not open, and Stewart airmailed that pass, and he'll come out of the game as they'll check in the freshman Austin Stahl, another 6'5". Stahl, a very highly touted player, wearing the coveted number 33 that Carter Sellers had last year. From the way he's been playing earlier, he could be just as good as Sellers in due time. Ty Austin feeds inside Richardson, and a 6-foot jumper is no good. Rebound Voynich of Little Miami. So another missed opportunity. It was point blank for Richardson. 3.5 to go, second quarter. It's 8-6 Eagles. Voynich moving it inside, using tough opposition from Damian Brock. Make that Seeley, and now it's thrown back out inside. Spin move, kick Green. 3 ball for Max Green. Air ball out of play, and the Eagles are able to, no they aren't. It was Kyle Craig trying to raise that out of bounds. We'll say his foot was on the baseline before he was able to put that into his teammate. Would have been an easy 2 points if they had managed to recover that one. Instead, it's Walnut basketball. 3:07 to play. Eagles ahead 8-6. Missed a lot of opportunities so far in the early goings of this one. McDaniel inside feed for Richardson. Throws back out there. Austin throws back McDaniel. Goes inside. McDaniel takes it to the cup and scores. Landon McDaniel for his third and fourth points of the night. Eagles now ahead 10-6. Voynich turns it around. Gives it up for Hatt. Hatt gets across the timeline. Guarded by Jaden Seeley. And he walks. Pretty obvious one there as Seeley was in his grill. Hatt took one too many steps and turns it over again. Waku Boafo will enter, replacing Austin Stahl, who didn't record any stats while he was here. Eagles 10, Panthers 6. Walnut looking for their first win over Little Miami since 2022-23. Seeley almost turns it over, gets it back, throws it right side. McDaniel, who gives back to Seeley. Back to McDaniel as the zone defense continuing. Richardson gets the feed, 20 feet from the basket. He drives inside, turns, kicks back to Seeley. 2:07 to play, second quarter. Eagles 10, Panthers 6. On the feed, right side, McDaniel gives back to Seeley. 2 to go. Seeley throws right side. McDaniel for 3. Got it! First triple of the game for the Eagles, and Landon McDaniel is up to 7 points. 13-6, Eagles in front. On the inbound, it's Voynich taken across the timeline, just steaming toward the basket, and he loses control of the basketball, taken away by the Eagles' Miles Klump Lawson. Stoffridgen on the Euro step, he scores! And a timeout called by Scott Kerr, as this one is starting to blow up for Walnut. Charlie Stoffridgen with 2, and they're ahead 15-6 with 1:34 to go in quarter number 2. Out of the timeout, Walnut offense is heating up here in Morrow. They're now ahead 15-6. They have been stifling this lethargic Little Miami offense and finally have been waking up and hitting their shots. Landon McDaniel has 7 points with 1.5 minutes to go in the second quarter for Walnut. They've been turning Little Miami over at a very high clip. With this full court press, they've been causing problems, and the Panthers have been shooting themselves in the foot as well. Some unneeded travels are what I can think of. Jace Hatt takes it across, and Kashmir Wright wanted a 10-second violation. He will not get one. Throwing left side, the ball ends up in the hands of Cameron Joseph. 1:15 to go, second quarter. Joseph feeding right side, gives it for Hatt. Back top of the key to Voynich, throws it left side where Max Green has it. Green guarded by Richardson, throwing right side for Jace Hatt. Into the right wing for Voynich. Goes back out to center circle where Joseph feeds Green right side, back out to Joseph. And they have not moved up off that three-point arc so far. This one continuing as Hatt bounce pass inside and taking it in, back to Hatt, turns it around. Boafo sets a screen for Hatt, and Hatt gives it back to him. Boafo falls down, and he held onto his dribble, gets it out to Voynich, who throws it out there to Hatt. Eagles defense recovers, and Voynich almost stepped out of bounds but didn't. So the possession continues here. Green rolls around top of the key, throwing it outside, and there is Joseph. Joseph motoring in, spinning at the free throw line. Joseph got to get it somewhere, kicks it out, and it is Boafo who knocks the Eagles defender over, fades away, and scores. Kwaku Boafo with 2 points. Second quarter clock running down. McDaniel throws back to Seeley. Deep three. No good. And that's the end of the second quarter. So the Panthers scored 2 going into halftime, but Walnut's got a healthy lead. Eagles 15, Panthers 8 here on Graham Sports Casting Channel.
we have a halftime wrap-up award this evening, and we can have your attention for 1 month.
Thank you to everyone that brought in and brought toys for the Spirit of Christmas Ministries. On behalf of Little Miami Basketball, Coastal and Top Company and the efforts, we really appreciate it. We are also collecting toys on the women's varsity game on December 11th, so keep that in mind. All right, here we go. Ticket number 000088. 000088. Come see me over the announcer's booth.
Thanks very much.
Back from Little Miami High School in Mora, Ohio, where at the halftime break it is Walnut Hills 15 and Little Miami 8. Walnut led 6-3 at the end of the first quarter, 8-6 midway through the second, but a flurry of points scored got the Eagles to where they are now. Unlike the Oak Hills game, they have been making their shots from the field. They scored a glut of points at the free throw line against the Highlanders and didn't make very many baskets in that one, but they've been getting it done, especially from 2-point range, which is nice to see. but still only 15 points. You've held the Panthers to 8 in a very slow-paced game. As with no shot clock, you can kind of just do that. But still, you like to see a bit more scoring. Heading into a showdown with Winton Woods, who looks so far every bit of what we thought they were going to be with those new transfers, Isaiah Mack Russell and Desai Bronson. Warriors ahead by 17 on Kings at halftime of that game. Meanwhile, West Claremont trailing Loveland by a score of 37-26. Milford was taking on... I forgot. Milford was at Turpin today and have not seen any updates from them. Let's see if Turpin has something to this. Turpin trailed Milford 17-10 at the end of the first quarter. Milford, who a lot of consider to be the worst team in the league this year, good showing for them. I think he just knocked off Elgin. So it is Little Miami trails Walnut Hills 15-8 as we're ready to begin the third quarter of play here at the Little Miami Gymnasium. Panthers head coach Scott Kerr has not lost to Walnut in his career. 4-0 against the Eagles. But Kashmir Wright now in the building looking to change that, and he has held Kerr's offense to just 8 points in 2 quarters. 3 in the first, 5 in the second. It really should have been 3. Kwaku Boafo got away with an offensive foul to score the Panthers' last 2 points of the first half, in my opinion. But Walnut still leads by 7. And if their offense can continue to get to that explosive level we saw, kind of peek their heads out at the end of the second quarter, this could get ugly for Little Miami. On the floor to start, the same starting 5, Austin, Seeley, McDaniel, Stoffridgen, and Brock, replacing Richardson, so apologies on that. Jaden Seeley start with a basketball for Walnut. Seeley feeds it right side for McDaniel to start the third quarter. McDaniel gets rid of it, goes to Charlie Stoffridgen, top of the key. Stoffridgen shakes his defender off, works his way inside, spins toward the basket, puts up a running layup, no good. Rebound Carter Stewart, Little Miami. 7 possession to start. Stoffridgen got a good look, but couldn't finish. And an over the back called as Pat passed it in front of the timeline to Voynich before he walked backwards, and a mental mistake made by the Panthers as they turn it over again. Had plenty of those to start off this game. 7.5 to go, Walnut basketball, leading by 7. Seeley works his way left, throws it all across the way, but McDaniel works his way inside. Layup for him is short and a foul call. That foul is against Little Miami's Stewart. First foul on Stewart, just the second all game on Little Miami, and that'll send Landon McDaniel to the free throw line. Last few games from last year, we did not have full game data. McDaniel's first gets an unfriendly bounce and goes in and out. McDaniel was a 64% free throw shooter in the 16 games we do have data for, but they did not upload all of them to the ECC website. His second shot is good. Eagles back ahead by 8. McDaniel's got 8 points. 16-8 early in the third quarter, Walnut leading. And off the inbound, another turnover. That just isn't going right as they just immediately turn it over again, and Hoffman will check in replacing Max Green. Little Miami cannot stop turning it over. And I think I just heard that word come out of Scott Kerr's mouth. Damian Brock, wide open 3, got it. And the first 3 of the game for Brock as the Eagles now by double digits, 19-8. Pat throws it back, and Craig looks to work past Seeley. He's not going to make it easy. Pat throws it back, 10 seconds. Walnut bench erupting as Little Miami has not even been able to get it across the timeline this half, and they turn the ball over again. Cam Joseph checked in for the Panthers, who now trail by 11, their largest deficit of the game. And the Walnut defense starting to dominate. Jaden Seeley works around a screen for the Eagles, throws it left side. Ty Austin. Austin works inside. Stoffridgen at the free throw line. Spins, goes inside, gets to the basket, puts up a layup. He's fouled. Didn't make the shot, but he'll have free throws coming up to extend this Walnut lead. Foul called against Kyle Craig. Stoffridgen, a 71% free throw shooter last year. His first is no good, a little bit too strong. Missing his first free throw attempt of the season. Little Miami checks in Ian Fee, number 5. He will replace Voynich. Stoffridgen's second free throw is good. It's a 20-8 Walnut Hills lead as Stoffridgen's got 3 points of the night. And Seeley turns it over, takes it away, no good, and finishes Jaden Seeley. First 2 for Seeley as another backcourt turnover. They've had 3 of those, and they haven't gotten across the timeline yet. Finally, they do, as Stewart gets the reception with Little Miami down 22-8. It's an extended 14-2 run for Walnut, as their defense is dominating right now. Around the horn, the ball ends up to Craig, as Little Miami finally getting to play some half-court offense for the first time this half. Joseph works inside, shovels back to Fee, kicks it right side, where it ends up in the hands of Craig. Craig works around Seeley. Craig to the free throw line, spins, stops, kicks. Back to Joseph, but Walnut gets a chance to reset their defense. Stewart throws right side off the hands of Craig and out of bounds. Another Little Miami turnover. That is now 4 turnovers and 0 shots so far in this third quarter, with Walnut ahead 22-8. And for a Scott Kerr coach team, this is preposterous. From what we've seen from him for the first 2 years, this many turnovers is just ugly. On the other side, McDaniel takes it right to the basket, has it blocked quickly by Carter Stewart. Nice play by the junior, and Little Miami defense makes a play. Joseph gets across the timeline, works his way in, has himself bumped out of bounds. Scott Kerr wondering why there was no foul, but it's another turnover. He was contacted by Ty Austin and nothing was called. I must agree with him on that. There was a lot of contact there, and it forced the ball out of Joseph's hands for the 5th Panther turnover of the quarter. We are not 3 minutes into this quarter yet. Seeley throws it right side for Ty Austin. Seeley gets the ball back, rolls inside, throws it out. Damian Brock takes it to the cup. Brock under the basket, and he finishes. Damian Brock. 5 for Brock, and the Eagles tripling up the Panthers, 24-8. 4:53 to go in quarter number 3. No shots attempted yet for Little Miami this half. They have turned it over 5 times. Ian Fee on Seeley, shovels it back to Joseph, who throws it left side to his man Owen Armstrong. And Armstrong turns it over. Trying to find Ian Fee and throw it out of bounds. That is 6 turnovers. Little Miami is just not having a good day. They check in a new face who is not played so far this year, number 23, Ryder Armstrong, a sophomore 5'9" guard. Seeing his first varsity action. Walnut's Joey Pining gets the ball, throwing it back and gets it back. Pining works it left side, and Seeley is contacted, feeds Pining right side, works in, floating, running shot, and it is good. Joey Pining. First 2 of the game for the junior, who's played on varsity since he was a freshman, and it's 26-8 Walnut Hills. 11-0 run out of half, 18-2 run since it was 8-6 in the second quarter. Joseph, third quarter, half gone. Eagles by 18. Joseph working his way inside, takes it to the basket, puts up the first shot of the half, out of bounds, blocked by Miles Klump Lawson. It will stay Little Miami ball. Jace Hatt checks in, replacing Owen Armstrong for Little Miami. 3:50 to go. Eagles 26, Panthers 8. At one point, this was an 8-6 ball game. Off the inbound, all the players gummed up right now. It should be Little Miami basketball as it was called at the field. But looks like Joseph is tying his shoe right now, and he will be the inbounder afterwards. Now he's gotten up. So 3:50 to go. Little Miami basketball. Finds inside, but it's nearly a turnover, but Richardson could not corral the ball. He was trying to go inside to his outlet man, Kyle Craig. Richardson had great position, but could not corral the ball before it went out of bounds. They kind of whipped it that way. Craig now exits, replaced by Cade Voynich. Another inbound. Joseph lobs one up and Voynich collects. Make that hat. Joseph gets it behind his back. No points yet and only one shot for Miami so far this quarter. Hat shakes off Pining, lifts to shoot, but he throws it back instead to Boafo. Feeds left side, and Armstrong's got it. Ryder Armstrong rolls, spins, kicks back out, nearly turns it over, but Joseph collects it for Little Miami. As off on the other end to Voynich, who needs to get rid of it. Now dribbles it, left side, Armstrong to Hat. Hat shakes off Pining, spins, puts up a 15-foot jumper and sinks it. Jace Hat. 5 for Jace Hat. Little Miami on the board for the first time this quarter, trailing 26-10. Pining inside, Plummer. Jeremiah Plummer goes to the cup. Hard physicality, but Boafo blocks the shot. It's on the ground. Boafo collects. Richardson collects it on the other end. Kicks back to Pining. Extra pass to Klump Lawson. Pining throws it along the way. So the Eagles get it back and reset. Pining works it outside. Klump Lawson for three. Miles Klump Lawson, big three, and the Eagles ahead by 19, their largest lead of the night. 29-10. Hat harassed and barely gets it out of bounds. It will stay here. 29-10. Walnut Hills leading. Their offense has been in extra gear since the middle of the second quarter. Max Green checks back in for the Panthers, as the Eagles will check in Beanie Acklin wearing number 20. His first playing time of 2025-26. Kashmir Road will hope to get some backups in if this trend continues as it has been going. Pat flings it top of the key for Joseph. Joseph spins, goes around a couple screens, feeds to Hat behind his back. Pining playing good defense so far, and Voynich moves right side, spins, takes it toward the basket, puts it up, and misses, but he's fouled. Beanie Acklin was in there, and the foul called against Klump Lawson. 2 free throws coming out for Cade Voynich, who's just 1 of 4 at the line so far tonight. 2:06 to go. It's the Eagles 29, the Panthers 10. Voynich's first shot is good. He's got 4 points. As Little Miami will need to find some offense. They really haven't all year to get them into gear for a comeback victory after they were down 19. Voynich's second free throw is no good. Rebound yanked out of play by the Panthers, and it will be Panther basketball. So Voynich now just 2 for 6 at the line tonight, but the offensive hustle by Boafo gets them an extra possession as the ball ends up in the hands of Hat, but then it's no longer there as Richardson takes it away. And ends up at the right side. Pining. We're knifing through. Joey Pining, what a drive, and he scores again. Eagles by 20, 31-11. Under 2 to play, third quarter. As Joseph throws it back, and on the other end, it's the feed. Gets back in there, but it's poked away from behind, and barely saving it is Boafo. It was Beanie Acklin almost got the takeaway, and now a foul called. And it's a timeout, actually, with 1.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Walnut 31, Little Miami 11. This is going about as well as Kashmir Wright could hope for in his second game as the Eagles head coach. He was known for his team's marked improvement as the head coach of Clark Montessori, the former UC basketball star. Improved Clark Montessori's record each of his 4 years there as head coach, and finally took him to the Division V Regional Finals last season. And he has just been excellent. Off the inbound for Little Miami, it'll be Kyle Craig who feeds Hatt. Jace Hatt inside off the foot of Pining, out of bounds. It'll stay here. He was trying to find Cade Voynich on a drive to the basket, but Pining was in good position. Voynich will now inbound as we get a whistle. That will stop play. Jace Hatt will exit, replaced by Ryder Armstrong. The sophomore looking for his first career points. Kick back out off the inbound to Joseph. Driving in on Plummer, stops, and a foul called. They called that on Joey Pining off ball. It'll be his second and the first of the quarter on Walnut. Off the fake, quick three, and it's good actually. What's that? What's the call on that? See, it was Kyle Craig. See if it's a 2 or a 3. It looked like a very long 2. In any case, it's points for Kyle Craig, his first of the season. 4th unique score for the Panthers. They will call that a 3, so 31-14. And ball fed right side. Pining steps back, throws it back over to Beanie Acklin. Lobbing it inside. Plummer has it poked away from him by Boafo, and the Eagles will keep it. First 3 of the game for Kyle Craig of Little Miami. 5'9" junior guard. And it's his first career points. He only played 2 games last year. Congratulations to him. Joey Pining inside feed to Jeremiah Plummer. Plummer spins, kicks back out. Bryce Richardson throws across the way for Kai Russell, who's now in the game. Russell low to the ground, double team, but he finds his way out to Pining, who wants to drive to the basket. Pining, running shot, and it goes. After a long roll, Joey Pining up to 6 points. 33-14, Walnut in front. Turnover on the other end. Kai Russell puts it up, and he is double dribbles and turns it over. Took one too many hesitations, and then eventually had to turn it over instead. 34.8 to go. 33-14, Walnut in front. Craig is harassed on the other end. Throws it up wildly, and is somebody home. Voynich launches it into the air, and it is recovered by the Panthers somehow. And then, after all of that, they step on the baseline and turn it over. That's about how the night has gone for Little Miami. They did about 10 deals with the devil just to get the ball into the front court, and then turned it over anyway. New faces for the Panthers, including a new one, number 40, sophomore guard Tyler Meese. Named after what they thought the plural of moose was. As Joey Pining will hold for Walnut's final shot. 33-14, the Eagles comfortably in front. They have scored 18 in this third quarter. 6 seconds to play. Pining rolls right side, kicks to the corner, wide open 3, Klump Lawson, and he got it. How do you do that if you're Little Miami? Like, I do not know. Pining is just standing there, and nobody thinks to pick up Klump Lawson in the corner, and he hits a 3, and that's just emblematic. That whole last sequence of how the night has gone for the Panthers. 36-14 at the end of the third quarter. Walnut comfortably in front on Graham Sportscasting Channel. Entering quarter number 4, it is 36-14. Walnut Hills beaten up their rival Little Miami Panthers. I would say in the modern era, Little Miami is about as close to a rival as Walnut has. They've been bottom feeders in the football field for a number of years. That's turning around for the Panthers, though, with Nate Mann at the helm. Great football coach. But a lot of them played in games where the winner would have their only conference win. That was in 22, 23, and 24. On the other end, it's a 3-ball missed by Little Miami. Rebound tapped out to Kyle Craig, who missed the shot. Craig works his way back in, gets tied up, and a whistle will stop play, a foul called. Miles Lawson picks that one up. It's a second. We'll see if they'll say who was shooting. They'll say he wasn't. Voynich will inbound. 6:39 to go in the game. And a quick 3 put up by Voynich, and that rolls along the rim, misses. Rebound to Walnut's Jackson Camara now in the game for the first time. They've also checked in Braden Kellon, pining the drive, and he can't finish, but a foul called. A Panther got knocked over. That was Craig, and we'll see if this is called on. It's on Craig. Pining to the line for 2. So Braden Kellon wearing number 12 in the game for the first time. Pining's first free throw is good. He's got 7 points tonight. Showed some very impressive ball skills on his drive to the basket. You want to see him pick up his 3-point shooting game a little bit, but he could be a really effective player this and next year with that combination of skills. He makes his second free throw and is now tied for the team lead with 8 points. Other end, and Voynich gets it. Feeds left side, and great press breaking possession. Hatz fades away, shoots a 3, and misses an air ball. Rebound tapped in the air, and it goes off the back of the backboard as 2 Panthers were trying to get it. They cannot recover it. Another missed shot from Little Miami, who trailed by 24. Whistle on the other end will stop play. A foul called on the Panthers. Give that to Voynich as Kellen gets it out and feeds it over to Richardson. Inside, kicked back, Klump Lawson, but another 3 attempt. That one is no good. Rebound for Jace Hatt of Little Miami. 7 to go, Eagles by 24. Left side throw, Green feeds top of the key, Hatt. Throwing it right side now where Kyle Craig's got it. As the inside feed, a nice pass, but Richardson blocks the shot and takes it away. Great play by Bryce Richardson to recover that one. He gets across the timeline into a double team, tries to dribble his way out of it. He does, kicks it back out. Pining wide open 3, short, and no good. Tipped out of play by Camara. Kellon could have recovered it if he had space, but he did not. 6.5 to go, 38-14, Walnut in front. In command of this game since the middle of the second quarter. Left side, the ball's fed to Kyle Craig. Feeds back there. Voynich, guarded by Pining, and he throws to the left corner. Back to Hatt, who dribbles left wing, feeds left side. Back to Hatt, guarded by Richardson. Bounce pass right side, Stewart, interior feed, kick back out. Voynich for 3. It is no good. Tipped into the air, out of play, and the ball will head. And the ball will stay here, actually, so an interesting call there. McDaniel, Stoffridgen, Brock, and Austin will all enter for Walnut. They will join Joey Pining on the floor. So the Eagles not quite done with starters just yet. Voynich lobs it out, and he finds Jace Hatt with under 6 to go in the game. Voynich, guarded by Pining, gets around him and switches on to Stoffridgen. Voynich feeds inside, a nice pass, and a score for Carter Stewart. 38-16 now your score. Carter Stewart with his first 2. Pining throwing left side for Damian Brock. And Brock moves his way inside. Euro step to the basket, too easy. Damian Brock with his 6th and 7th points, and the Eagles back ahead by 24. So Kashmir Wright will in all likelihood be celebrating his first win as a Walnut Hills Eagle, and it'll be over a big rival away from home, and it'll be in dominant fashion, most likely. They find Hatt on the left wing. Hat dribbles inside, takes it toward the basket, loses the ball, but he's fouled. And he is called against McDaniel. Second foul, and 2 shots coming up for Jace Hat. Hat 1 of 5 at the line to begin his campaign, now 1 of 6. He misses that first one. Check in Boafo and Joseph. 5:03 to play in the game. Eagles by 24. Hat looking to make it 23 with a free throw. Hat puts it up and sinks it. 40-17 now the score. 5:03 left to play. Eagles have summarily dominated, especially on the defensive end. Ball fed inside, kicked cross court, but tapped out of bounds by a Panther after the trying to get Damian Brock in the right corner. It was Cade Voynich jumping that pass. Pining will inbound from that spot. And he feeds right there inside. Stofferton fades away and sinks it. Charlie Stofferton with 5 points. Eagles have 9 different scorers and 5 with 5 or more points, with Stofferton now joining their ranks. And the feed inside and a foul called. Stofferton got a piece of Kwaku Boafo when he was trying to jump that pass. 4th foul on Walnut. They called that a McDaniel, actually. So it might have been away from the ball, because that's an odd call. Gains one hand, though. Jace Hat gets the inbound, works inside, works through a double team, and gets fouled. Ty Austin would pick up that there. You think that's on him? It was. First foul on Austin, who has not had the start to his senior season that he's hoped. 2 shots coming for Jace Hat. 2 of 7 the line now this year. And he makes the first one. 42-18 your score. Eagles ahead of Panthers. Hat ready for his second shot. And connects. 7 points for Jace Hat. Make it 8, actually. I miscounted. 8 points for Jace Hat, leading all Panthers. And tied for the lead with all scorers, McDaniel and Pining. Also have 8 as Hat picks up a foul on the inbound. That is, Walnut will get it back. Give it up to Pining. Little Miami pressing to try to force some turnovers, make this game look more respectable than it is. Pining works his way inside, gets knocked over, goes to the ground, keeps the dribble going, and we'll see what happens. It's going to be a held ball. Possession arrow favoring Little Miami. So a turnover there. Eagles getting a little fast as they try to close this game out. Of course, this is a lead that is very hard to squander, but you will want to just sit on the ball and get your backups in. As Boafo double dribbles. Turnover, Little Miami. And line changes again. Jaden Seeley enters alongside McDaniel, Austin, Brock, and Stofferton. And on the inbound, Seeley gets it. Eagles by 23, under 4 to play in the 4th quarter as Brock drives in, throws his body at a Little Miami defender, and we'll see if that foul is called on Italy Brock. And another turnover. Can't do that. Can't just throw yourself at somebody. It's supposed to get a defensive foul with the way they've been calling things tonight. Maybe on a different day you can do that. 42-19 the lead. Panthers just going through the motions. Joseph rolls right side, guarded by Ty Austin. Joseph. And a whistle. He was fouled. Free throw coming up. 2 more for Joseph, who has no points so far today. Was out of the starting lineup for the first time all season. Cameron Joseph was. made his only free throw attempt against Fairfield in the season opener. And his first shot, no good. Eagles will sub in Jeremiah Plummer, replacing Ty Austin, who is on 2 fouls. Austin's not done much of anything tonight. Still shaking off a lot of the rust that comes from not having done any athletics in the fall season. Joseph's second shot is no good. Rebound, tracked down, and out of play. It will go the other way. It was 2 Panthers and an Eagle, and one of the Panthers had their hands on it last. It's picked up a foul on the inbound, his second, and he will keep it going. Little Miami still pressing, trailing by 23. And on the foul call, and that's a turnover. Looks like Voynich picked up another one on the drive by Seeley. That'll be 4 in Little Miami. Trailing 42-19. Seeley around right, gives it up to Plummer, who passes up a good 3 look to throw to McDaniel left side. Extra pass, Seeley 3, no good. Rebound fought for and claimed by Little Miami. And did he step on the baseline or was there a foul? It was Ian Fee. They'll call a foul on Walnut. Brock picks up his 3rd. Free throws coming up for Little Miami. 3:18 to go. This ending is a lot longer than you feel like it should be. Running clock nowhere near on. Need a 35-point lead for that. Best Walnut's then is 25. First free throw is no good for Ian Fee as he looks for his 2nd point of the campaign. Line change for the Panthers as alongside Fee they check in Ryder Armstrong, Austin Stahl, Luke Roberson, and Owen Armstrong to join him as Fee shoots a second and makes it. Fee will now check out in favor of Tanner Schmidt, a sophomore guard. So Scott Kerr getting his backup some experience in this disappointing result. It'll be his 3rd straight double-digit loss most likely as Walnut take the shot and misses. Fighting for the rebound is Brayton Kellen, make that Brock, and it's a tie-up on the ground. Possession arrow favoring Walnut. Possession arrow favoring Little Miami, huh? Oh, just got that. Panther ball, trailing 42-20, 3:03 to go in the 4th quarter. Left side, double teamed. As he falls down, gets it away, but only to an Eagle. Seeley on the drive, throws up a running shot, and Brock tried to finish, but instead it'll be a different one as Stoffridgen cleans up the mess for his 6th and 7th points. 44-20. Double team on the other end for the Eagles as they're just trying to get out of this one, and it's going to be either a foul or 5 seconds, and it looks like it's going to be a foul. Brock picks up his 4th foul with 2:29 to go, and it'll be Little Miami free throws coming up for Tanner Schmidt. Schmidt, his first varsity action, looking for his first varsity point here at the free throw line. No good off the back iron. 2:29 to go in the ball game. Eagles have a comfortable margin for the whole second half. Schmidt's second is good. And the crowd erupts for Schmidt's first varsity point. Congrats to him. So Eagles bust basketball leading by 23, 44-21. Seeley and Brock passing it back and forth. Now goes right side to Clump Lawson into the corner for 3. No good, too strong. Brock misses the offensive board. It's pulled down and now poked away, and it will not be saved. It'll save Panthers basketball. That was Stoffridgen, not Clump Lawson, and Plummer missed the 3. Beanie Ackland will check in alongside Braden Kellen. Thiele is out, and McDaniel is out. 2:04 to go in the fourth quarter. For head coach Kashmir Wright, he'll have his first win as the Eagles head coach. Inbounds pass from Schmidt is collected there by Owen Armstrong, and then feeds, gets it back to Schmidt. Right side, Roberson. Under 2 to go. Now Armstrong throwing it left side to Roberson. Turns around, kicks it back, top of the key, Schmidt. Right side to Roberson. Dribbles on the Little Miami paw, minute 40 to go. Throwing left side, Tanner Schmidt. And just around the three-point line, here they come. Armstrong, low to the ground, now gets it back to Schmidt. And to the older Armstrong, Owen. Right side, Schmidt. Turning, almost on the baseline, but managed not to. And Roberson loses it off the foot of Brock. It'll stay Panther ball. And a foul called against Brock. That looked pretty weak, but now Brock is fouled out of the game. So he'll have to exit, as the official is telling him. That was a very weak call, but Roberson now has a chance for his first varsity points. They'll check in Miles Klump-Lawson for a place break, and was Jackson Camara. Chance for Roberson to score here. And he does not. That was in and out on the free throw attempt. Panthers have used, by my count, 16 different players in what will be a loss. Roberson's second free throw is no good, and rebounded by Klump-Lawson of Walnut Hills. Minute 13 to go in the game. Kellen throws left side. Acklin races in, running shot, and it's too strong, no good. Tip ball, and it's fought for by Camara on the ground. The possession error will decide it, and it will go to Walnut. Minute 3 to go. (44-21). Eagles will win this game by a pretty convincing margin. Outlet pass goes to Plummer, kicks back, and Plummer walked for a turnover. They call a foul, actually, on Jackson Camara. The foul calls in this fourth quarter have been interesting, to say the least. Panther basketball, Schmidt feeds it back for Owen Armstrong. Throws it, left side for Schmidt. 47 seconds to go. Schmidt feeds it, right side, Owen Armstrong. And gets around his defender. Lobs one up, no good. Rebound Armstrong, but then has it poked away. Covered by Ryder Armstrong. He tries to snake through, but he could not hold his dribble and travel for another turnover. So 44-21. Eagles have the ball back with 33 seconds to go in a feel-good road win. I think that's the best part for him. Acklin throws left side, gets it back. Panthers still playing hard. Eagles in no rush. Kellen holds onto the ball, and now will get guarded, so he'll have to get rid of it. And he will, over to Klump-Lawson. Back to Acklin, 8 seconds left. One way double teaming him, like, what are you doing here? They get the takeaway, and it's Roberson on the layup. He misses, and it's tipped into the air, and the clock will run out before they can get another shot up. And that's your final score. Walnut Hills 44, Little Miami 21. Kashmir Wright has his first win as the Walnut Hills Eagles head coach. And your leading scorers in the day are Landon McDaniel with 8, Joey Pining with 8, Charlie Stockford at 7, Damian Brock 7, and Miles Klump-Lawson 6. Eagles will face a very stiff test when they next return to the court. They will play Winton Woods next Tuesday, who some say is the best team in all of Division II this year. We'll see you then. This has been Walnut Hills Basketball on Grand Sportscasting Channel.